right, almost got this live. Hang on. Connecting to YouTube. Give me 1 second. Almost got this live. All right. Good morning, RLT members. Those of you watching on YouTube, hope everyone is having a great morning so far. I was just mentioning to the RLT community here prior to going live on YouTube that I am back in Canada. I did that 7-hour drive yesterday. So it was 14 hours of driving, 2 days, but I am back here and ready to get going today. Missed a lot. I missed a lot in the market yesterday. And I just wanted to go back to something real quick before we touch on what's going on today. But I was curious yesterday when after driving, I was doing the driving, so I wasn't on my phone or looking at the market or anything like that. But if I zoom in here, right? So if I zoom in here on both of these, on the S&P and on the NASDAQ, if those of you who were with me yesterday remember, I was looking at going long on Tesla at a particular time, and we had the order set up. It was live, and then I saw this candle come in on the S&P, this candle come in on the NASDAQ, and that's when I said, look, let's cancel. Good morning, Rock. I said, let's cancel that Tesla trade. We can set it up again, but I did not want to get triggered in on a momentum candle coming down. And if we, I'll go into Tesla in a second, but anyway, I just wanted to just go back over that real quick, just to emphasize that, when my reasoning for canceling that trade, and it was a good one, and of course in hindsight, but seeing some type of a candle like that, when you have a trade open and the markets start to go down like that, and that's a big momentum move. It's a bit of a parabolic move compared to this nice controlled retracement right here. That was what I did not want to get caught in. I didn't want to get into Tesla long at that moment and then possibly get caught in a market rollover. And that's exactly what happened. So anyway, it was a good cancel. I was glad when I was able to finally go back and look at what happened, that we did not get caught in that going long in Tesla at that moment, because that would have ended up with probably a full R loss, maybe less, but still a less, would have been a loss nonetheless. So anyway, just wanted to go back and relook at that, because I did find that interesting that the market did roll yesterday and I missed all that. But what do we have going on today? So today, looking at the S&P, we have broken, earlier we broke below yesterday's trading range, but we are now back into yesterday's range. I guess I can get rid of these lines. These lines, this line right here and this one, these are the lines that I drew yesterday, where I was saying that the market, I said, could come back down in this area here and then look to bounce. And we tried right here, but then it obviously failed. So I can get rid of these lines. Let me adjust this little screen here. Get some current price action showing. So again, on the S&P, we did break slightly below yesterday's trading range earlier. We're now kind of back into that range, but we're hovering right around the low of yesterday on the S&P. On the NASDAQ, we are trading below currently yesterday's price action. So, and if you noticed yesterday on both of these, you have indecision candles, right? So we have a doji, a bullish doji here, a bearish doji here, but both of them indecision candles. We do have some support under the NASDAQ here. Here is the 10 EMA on the daily here. We have this would be the daily 100. So we do have some support underneath here, and the same here. So here's the daily 100. Here's the daily 20. They're coming up. about to intersect, and the 20 is about to cross the 100. So we do have some support underneath here. So if we do go a little bit lower, look for potential bounces in those areas. Let me adjust this screen here. Okay. So again, if we do trade lower, just look for potential bounce off of those areas. I want to go and let's check out real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm just pulling up a. Going to go to a different share here. Okay. Can everybody see? You should see Econo Day. See the website here now. Give me. Okay. Good. Okay. So anyway, I was just curious because I know that we do have some. I had heard that we had a couple of things coming out today. Just let's look at the calendar on today, see what announcements we have. Productivity and cost. Okay. I thought there was something that was another announcement today. Obviously tomorrow we have a couple of things, but thought I'd heard there was something coming out this morning, but I don't see anything that is really significant here on the Econo Day for today. Okay. So let me minimize this. Give me a second. I'm going to change charts. I'm actually going to close a window. Give me 1 second. Be right back. Okay, let's start looking at the 10 EMA tickers that we trade. Let me go to this screen here. Okay, you should see, so currently this is not one of our 10 EMA tickers, but there is the chart of RCL. I was just looking through some of the tickers that are gapping today. So if you want to make a note of it, again, these are not part of our, these are not part of the 10 EMA strategy, but I did see a couple interesting tickers that you might want to just have on your list today. NCLH, so cruise lines, NCLH had their earnings come out. So you do have a bearish gap and go here. So quite a bit already. I think it's down like 8% or so. But anyway, bearish gap and go if you want to keep an eye on that. But that's dragging down other cruise lines. And then the only other one that I've looked for, and then we'll go to the 10 EMA strategy. But MU was the other one that I made a note of here. That's also gapping down. Now, this would be, since we had a bear candle yesterday, this would be a retest gap. So it is gapping down, but it's a retest gap. But what I liked about it is gapping down under. This is the weekly 200 right here, this purple line that's carried over to the smaller time frame here. So gapping below that. So that could be another gap if you are looking to trade gaps today. Anyway, those are just a couple extra tickers on my list that I will be watching today. Let's now go into our 10 EMA tickers. Okay, so Tesla. So if you look at Tesla on the daily, this was the one that we did look to, we were looking to go in long yesterday, and it was, if I can zoom in here a little bit, I'll show you exactly where. So it was this pullback. It was this pullback right here where we were looking to enter to go long, and that's when I canceled it when I saw the markets dropping. So it was a nice cancel because again, it did bounce out of there a little bit, but it came up. This is the 200 right here, came back up, retest that, and then it failed. So that was a good cancel. But yesterday we did break slightly above the previous day's high. If you notice here, we did go slightly above it, but then closed within yesterday's range. If we look at the price action currently, let's zoom out a little bit here. Okay. So here are the green lines here. The high and low from yesterday are the green lines here. So we are trading within yesterday's range. Just want to show you a couple key levels that of support in terms of the MAs, moving averages that we have. So here we have the we do have the this is the 10 EMA on the daily here. Okay, so we have that coming into play right here on the intraday chart. But then also we have down here, I added, that's the monthly 10 EMA as well, this heavy line down here. So I create thicker lines for larger time frames, just so when I'm looking at it, I know that that is a higher time frame. So if we do trade lower, just bear in mind, we do have this on the monthly, we do have this 10 EMA down here, which if I go to the monthly chart, you'll see what I'm referring to here, right? So here's this red line is the 10 EMA on the monthly. So I have that marked out there. That's just in a kind of a dark red line, just so I know exactly where that is when I'm looking at it on the daily chart. But we are trading within yesterday's trading range, just slightly. So we have, here's the low from yesterday. We did break below that pre-market. We are now back into yesterday's range. But if we do end up going bearish, we will be keeping an eye on this level down here for a potential bounce on Tesla. Let's take a look at NVDA. I'm just curious, give me more. Can you hear any of the construction in the background? Somebody across the way is doing some work. Hopefully it's not coming through on the mic. No. Cool. Okay, good deal. Thank you. Yeah, it's somebody decided just to start working over there just a few minutes ago. Okay, so NVIDIA yesterday. So NVIDIA had, they did not have earnings, but they did come out with an announcement and they lowered expectations. That caused NVIDIA to gap down yesterday. But I did mention, zoom in here a little bit. I did mention, that with NVIDIA, I wouldn't be surprised if it got bought up. And that is what happened initially in the market open. There was some buying came up, but then the market rolled over. This would have been that rollover that, that everything got dragged down by the markets with that rollover. But it is still holding this level here, right? So we are currently, let's take a look, zoom in here a little bit. So the range from yesterday, the green lines here. So here's yesterday's daily candle. We have the high here, the low here. We are still trading above the low from yesterday. So we were within yesterday's trading range. We broke down below it a little bit pre-market. We do have some moving averages in the way here. So we, not in the way, but providing either support and resistance. So we have, this is the 50 on the daily, which is the blue line down here. We have the, this is the daily 20 EMA right up here. So we're kind of trading right now, just in between a couple of the moving averages. So if we end up going lower, we want to be keeping an eye on this level down here. I'm going to get rid of this red line down here. So if we do go lower, just bear in mind, we do have that, that on the daily, we have this, the 50 down here, the simple moving average. But currently trading within yesterday's range. If we go to Amazon, Amazon has a lot of moving averages in the picture here. It's like kind of just a way too many lines, but they're all relevant. we need to know where they are. So if we look again on Amazon, we're trading, we're right down at the low of yesterday. We're still within yesterday's range. Broke slightly below it, but we're back into yesterday's range. So here's the low from yesterday, the green line here. The orange lines represent the high and the low from the pre-market. We have this, what was interesting yesterday is we did know this as we were looking at Amazon. Amazon was really struggling trying to get above. This is the monthly, this heavy black line here is the monthly 20 EMA. And so it was really struggling to get through that level, and of course got rejected, came down. So we do have some room to go to the downside if we do go bearish. We have, this is the, on the daily, we have the 10 EMA here on the daily. So we do have a little bit of room here to drop down. So that level here will provide some support if we do go lower. Many more moving averages down here, but we do have some room to get down into this range here. If we end up going bearish, we'll keep an eye on the market, see what the markets end up doing. AMD. And a lot of these tickers that we're looking at have multiple moving averages in the picture. So AMD yesterday, if I zoom in here a little bit, almost like a perfect doji. Maybe it is. Let's see. The open on this was a open 100.06, close 100.07. Yeah, so almost a perfect doji, right? So indecision candle, we'll have to wait and see which direction we break. We zoom in here on the smaller time frame. We did just break below the yesterday's low. Okay, so we're down here at the bottom, but we do have a couple major moving averages. So here again, this heavy line here, there's the monthly, that's the monthly 20 EMA. So we have that for support. We have the daily 10 EMA here. So in terms of going bearish on AMD, just keep in mind we do have these moving averages here, and that's the monthly right there is going to certainly provide some support there. I wouldn't be surprised if, again, we'll see what the market does, but wouldn't be surprised if AMD kind of trades below that briefly, then comes up, triggers in some bears, potentially trapping them. But again, a lot will be determined by what the market ends up doing. Let's see, we do have, this is the weekly 100 right in the middle here. So again, if we end up going bullish here at any time, we have to keep an eye on that level. I'm not sure if this is a accurate, I don't know if everyone has that. If TradingView is showing that huge, massive wick there, but I'm not sure if that's real or not. But anyway, I do have I didn't use that for my high just because that was just kind of an odd wick, but I did use the high for the pre-market based on yesterday's post-market action. All right, AMD, let's look at Delta. So Delta is interesting because Delta yesterday, when everything else was, of course, Delta dropped, but Delta has been showing some strength, surprisingly. So yesterday would have been, at one point, would have been a nice big bullish candle. But, yes, it did sell off with the market, but then it recovered some. But overall, Delta has been surprisingly bullish. Although we are currently trading within yesterday's range. So if I zoom in here a little bit, you can see there's Delta's high from yesterday, the low from yesterday. We're trading within it. The orange lines are the high and low for the pre-market. But one thing, what I did was I shaded this area, the shaded area above here. If we do end up going bullish, that is the area that we have a gap fill. We have a gap to fill from back here. So I just dropped in that shaded area just so I know if it gets back up in there, that is an area that we can fill this gap. And this is back from June. So we still have that gap to fill. So if we go bullish, look for that potential gap fill. Let's see. I have shop is not on our 10 EMA list, but I do have this on my charts. If anybody is watching, we are trading below, so it is a retest gap. We current price action is below yesterday's low, but again, we do have some moving averages here to provide some support. So if anybody's looking to trade shop, just be aware here's the daily 10 EMA, we have the daily 20 down here, we have the 50, even a little bit lower. So there are some moving averages to provide some support. Let's see. Take a look at Roblox. Now, Roblox is, for those of you who are using the funded account, unfortunately, Roblox is not one that is traded on the funded account, but not everybody here is on the funded account. So let's just take a look at Roblox. I mean, look at this on the daily here, right? All of these bullish candles in a row. So you do expect it that at some point it's got to come back. It's got to take it's got to rest. It's got to come back. We have earnings coming up. Looks like earnings are coming up. Well, they're today after market close. That'll be interesting. So Roblox tomorrow will certainly be interesting to see what happens with earnings. Trading a little bit lower. We have not broken yet or maybe we did slightly break the low from yesterday, but trading right down at the lower part of yesterday's range. You do have this shooting star here. So, and again, with all of these, bullish days, I mean, look how many bullish days in a row there are. Wouldn't be surprised to see this come back down. But with earnings tomorrow, if you have shares, if you're holding shares, definitely, consider some protective puts. If you're in any types of options, just be aware that you do have earnings tomorrow. Let's see. Kim is asking about you. Let's take a look at you. Let's see. All right. Cam, is this the, I just want to make sure this is the ticker you wanted to check out, right? Just you? Yep. Cool. Okay. All right. So let's just see. I'm curious. I'm not, nice volume. If I'm just scanning across here, just looking at the volume. Yeah. So really good volume. Earnings are today after market close. Okay. We're gapping up. So you have that's kind of a nice gap that it's actually, if this holds, let's see where price is right now. So price is 53.51. So we are back down. Let's just see here. Zoom in a little bit. So we're still holding above yesterday's high. So that would be a retest gap. But again, look at all these bullish days in a row, right? You do have to expect at some point this is going to retrace, but you do have earnings tomorrow. So here's on the daily, just be aware you do have this 100 up here. Let's see where the high of you was pre-market. Yeah, so pre-market, it went right to that 100, right? So pre-market, so just keep in mind, this may have been the move pre-market, right? It may have already made its move pre-market, and now it could just chop around. It is a retest gap. Again, with all of these bullish days in a row, look at how many bullish days in a row there are. Wouldn't be surprised to see this, especially with earnings tomorrow. Oh, it's a buyout, Thomas is saying. Let's just see. Okay, yep, I see that now down below in the down here in the news. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that. So proposed buyout, not something I trade. Whenever I see something gapping on either a share offering or a buyout, I typically avoid trading those gaps. But again, the move looks like it has happened pre-market. It already came up here, hit that 100, and it's now coming back down. So again, I myself, I avoid trading anything that is a share offering or a buyout. All right. Let's go to Airbnb. All right, so Airbnb looks like we'll be getting a gap down. So bearish candle yesterday, not a big gap. Let's see, we are currently trading somewhere around the 114.50 area. So could get a small gap down on Airbnb. Would be a retest gap. Again, we had a bearish candle gapping down, but in terms of, if you think about just the gap and who, fear and greed, right? Because so fear and greed is going to drive gaps. It's not really gapping to a place where people are either going to panic sell or they're going to be looking to buy. It's it's actually just now started putting in some bullish move back into yesterday's range. So you do have some support down here with the moving averages if it does go bearish on you, but not a gap that, again, that anybody's going to be freaking out about. So let's take a look. Let's go back and take a look at the overall markets real quick, because we have okay, so market's going to open in a minute. We'll go back to see what the markets are doing. All right, so we are a little bit lower here on the, again, we're from when we started this 30 minutes ago, we really haven't changed much, right? So still hanging about the same area that we were 30 minutes ago on both the S&P and the NASDAQ. So market's about to open. Jump in here, take a look at the SPY. That's the SPY on the daily. Take a look at the Q. So again, lots of moving averages here that are going to provide support if we go lower. All right, so SPY gap down from the close of yesterday, but didn't clear the low. The Qs did clear yesterday's low, so we'll just watch, see what happens. I'm going to sign off of YouTube right now since the market is open, but everyone out there in YouTube land, thank you for joining us this morning. If you want to join an amazing group of traders who trade together, support each other, help each other, just a wonderful community, go on over to reallifetrading.com. Would love to have you join us. Have a great day trading, and we will see you tomorrow.